And just want to say happy Florida Bicycle Month. I hope everybody's out there enjoying the beautiful weather. It's certainly, I'm actually starting to work on my tan a little bit. I'm kind of impressed.
I know what I'm doing like 10 minutes after this webinar. It involves two wheels.
All right, well, it is noon at this moment, so I want to thank everybody. Welcome to our special virtual seminar series. Today we are presenting the Bicycle Infrastructure 101, and our presenter is Ed Barsati. Ed is the former executive director of Ride Illinois and has extensive experience with bicycle infrastructure, including development of bike plans for 20 cities and design input on hundreds of road projects. Ed is currently a Florida snowbird. Thank you, Ed. He spends his time in Ocala when he's not in Illinois and is serving as our Bicycle Infrastructure Assistance Program Director. He enjoys helping professionals and advocates find pragmatic, achievable solutions to better bicycling conditions. And to this, I will add, he is a welcome resource for our Florida Bicycle Association. So thank you very much, Ed. And with that, the Zoom webinar is yours.
Well, again, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ed Barsati with Florida Bicycle Association, and thanks for attending this webinar. So the topics that we'll cover, first of all, are the Bikeway manuals and standards that are out there. If you're going to be an advocate, it really helps your credibility to be aware of what the manuals are and to be able to quote them. So we'll start off first with the different manuals. And if you're in Florida, obviously Florida DOT is the main resource on things. These are the two main manuals that you should be aware of, both online. For road projects that are within Florida DOT's maintenance, within their jurisdiction, the Florida Design Manual is the one that is used. And the policy specific to designs for bicycling are in the two chapters I've listed here, 223 and 224. If it's a road that is not a Florida DOT road, but it's a local agency road, a county or a town road, then the Florida Green Book is the manual that is used. Specifically, Chapter 9 deals with bike facilities. So these are basically the standards for local agencies when they design for bicycle accommodations. At the national level, something that's been around for 30 years is called the AASHTO Bike Guide. This is one that actually is not available online. It does cost money, so you can't just look for it, unfortunately. It has been around for so long, it's really considered the industry standard. And even courts will take a look at this as what is the proper way to do the designs. As a result of it being court accepted, this manual is very closely followed by engineers. The most recent version is 2012, but the next edition hopefully will be in the next year or two. The rest of them are all available online. One of those is called the Nato Urban Bikeway Design Guide. And Nato is an organization of basically some fairly urban, larger cities. They were frustrated at the slow pace of AASHTO evolution in the bike accommodation field. So they essentially created their own manual. And that's really the dense, larger cities is where a lot of the evolution of bike accommodations are taking place. So this manual is a good collection of those new treatments. It does have some credibility now that the Federal Highway Administration has supported its use. I recommend this one to take a look at. It does have some very user-friendly design guidance and diagrams that you can use if the accommodation you're looking at is included in here. The Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices is not guidance, it actually is regulations. These are federal regulations on signage and marking for roadways. The most recent version is 2009, but the next version probably will be here within the next year. There's going to be a whole slew of new or changes for bikeway signing and marking. But in the meantime, to see what's evolved from 2009 until 2021, the feds have a page, a website, where you can see what are some treatments that are currently accepted on what they call interim approval level, which basically means you can do it, but you need some paperwork and some approval. And then there's experimentation. So in order to advance the field, if you want to try something, the MUTCD explains how to do that. And then finally, the last one, a couple years ago, the Federal Highway Administration came out with a bikeway selection guide. The other guides really did not have great information on what is the appropriate treatment to choose where, as a function of speed, as a function of traffic volume, and so on. So this particular guide does have some good graphs that can help you determine what's appropriate where. It has some great real-life examples that you can use, because in bike planning, you have the ideal and then you have constraints, so often there's compromises. So this actually goes through some thought processes of how to deal with those trade-offs and backups. And then I'll mention too that this particular guide had a big part in Florida DOT's shifting in their policy to going more off-road with their bike accommodations.